7 years ago, I moved into a van and quit my job. Here's what happened.
How's everyone doing? So I just rolled over 7 years of living in a van.
Wow.
And also 6 years of being a full-time YouTube content creator. So just want to make a quick video to go over it all, the past, the present,
So it's possible.
maybe even a bit of the future. So let's dive into it.
Oh, it actually looks nice in there.
So let's start out with a bit of a backstory. Through my 20s, I was trying my best to follow the path that I thought I was supposed to follow, of like getting an education, finding a good full-time job, a place to live, having hobbies, a community, all that stuff. But even though I tried my best, I just never really fit into the workplace. And usually within a couple months to a year, I always found myself at the end of my rope and needing to quit my job. And at that time, my vice was bicycle touring. I would take off for a couple months and just ride around on my own terms, on my own timeline, have freedom, camp, and just enjoy life. And that really was what I needed to just balance everything out and cure what ailed me. So at that time, I kind of envisioned my whole life playing out like that, taking on temporary jobs to save up money, then traveling, having some freedom, and enjoying myself. But the biggest hindrance for saving up money was always rent. So I started looking into ways to get around that. At first, I thought I could just like live in a tent in the city, but it made a whole lot more sense to buy a cheap minivan and try and live out of that. Not only would I...
Don't bash it until you try it, to be honest with you, but rent is one of the most income destroying things that could ever take place. It doesn't allow you to save, basically, and it's intentional. I think the government, whoever it is, they do it intentional. But you let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Whilst you're there, please like the video for the YouTube algorithm.
A place to live, minivan, and try and live out of that. Not only would I have a place to live, transportation, I would also have something that I could resell later. Whereas with rent, your money is just gone. So then I went and bought myself a Chevy Uplander minivan. I removed the rear seats. I put a mattress on the floor, a couple Rubbermaid bins to store my stuff. Then I moved to the city, got a job, and it worked pretty good, other than the fact that I had no electricity, no ability to cook, no refrigeration, no privacy because it was like a fishbowl, and absolutely nothing to do inside the van because it was just a bed on wheels. But I was working the night shift, so that checked the box of where to park at night. Then basically I could sleep anywhere in the city during the day. Then during my free time, I would just keep myself entertained by going to the library, going hiking, going biking, and I'd also like have to go to the library to charge up my phone, my laptop, or sit in the mall at the cafeteria for a couple hours to plug in. So after about a month of living like that, it really started to grind on me. I had almost no quality of life inside my living space, so I decided to do the first iteration of my van build. I built a better bed platform, a storage inside it, a kitchen counter that I could cook on with a jet boil, and it was also starting to get colder, so I added one of those propane catalytic heaters in here, which is one of my biggest regrets and one of my biggest pieces of advice for anyone trying to live in a vehicle during cold temperatures. Absolutely do not use those propane catalytic heaters. Not only do they do a terrible job of heating your living space, they also give off a lot of moisture and fumes. I've heard reports in the news that even though smoking is down, lung cancer is still up, and it has to do with like indoor environmental factors. Cooking oils are actually very bad for your lungs, so anything you do in a tiny enclosed space like this is going to be amplified 100 times on your health. So you need to be very careful and also make sure that you have good ventilation.
Okay, I see. This dog just farted in my face.
I was living around Hamilton, Ontario. It was starting to get close to winter. It was starting to get really cold. And back then, there was not a single video available on YouTube of how to live in a vehicle below freezing temperatures. I searched high and low. It was pretty much a blank slate back then. But of course, many people had been living in campers through winter for decades. So there was a little chat on forums, and I eventually figured out that a diesel heater was the best way to go. But it's kind of funny now in terms of YouTube how like snowstorm and blizzard camping has become its own genre with thousands and thousands of videos available, and the same goes for stealth camping. I believe a guy named Rody kind of pioneered it. I just stumbled into it by accident. It was my life path. I had no intentions, and my first van life video went a little bit viral, hit almost 2 million views. It was just meant to be like a little update video for my subscribers, nothing more. But that was the first video that I made where I realized there was like income potential on YouTube. Up until that point, I hadn't made a dime, but that was the first one where I saw maybe there's a career potential, but I did not take it seriously at all. And it was a delicate balance. I was somewhat afraid of posting videos because it was really obvious where I was living, sleeping, spending my time. I was afraid of coworkers finding my videos, so I usually just wound up releasing one really brief 5-minute video once per month. And even right now, to this day, I feel like I should still be a bit careful. I've kind of had a stalker for the last 3 years. Despite me telling them over and over and over that I'm not interested in meeting, they still insist that they're coming to find me and live alongside me, which is not a great feeling to carry around. So it continued to get colder. It was well into the minus 20 Celsius range. I was kind of struggling, so I was actually kind of fortunate that I lost my job, and that gave me the opportunity to do the final iteration.
Look at the mindset shift. Man said, I was fortunate that I lost my job. But at the time, I bet you didn't think it was, unfortunate. I just lost my job. But it's crazy what hindsight does, right? As they say, 2020.
Of that minivan build, the one that you guys are all familiar with. It had everything built into it. Full electrical, diesel heating, ventilation, induction cooking. Even though it was a tiny living space, I was actually quite comfortable. But that van still exists to this day. It's still on the road. If you see Neil, give him a thumbs up and a wave. But I based around Hamilton until August 2019. Once again, I found myself miserable at the workplace and watching the summer dwindle away, so decided to quit and move out west. So I drove out to Alberta. I tried to salvage what I had left of the summer with a bike packing trip. And once that was wrapped up, I started searching for employment around Calgary. I had a number of interviews, but nothing really worked out. November 2019 was rolling around. I noticed there was a cold snap and some snow in the forecast, so I decided to film that video living in a minivan during freezing temperatures. I remember while uploading it, I kind of had an unmistakable feeling that I had something that was going to go big, and got really lucky. I got really fortunate. It got a lot of views, and that truly was the video that set my YouTube career in motion. So I really owe everything that I've seen and done over the last 6 years to YouTube and you guys watching and supporting these videos. None of this would have happened without you guys.
He's living the life, literally driving up mountains, just free. I feel like the majority of people, let me just mute the music because it's quite annoying. I feel like the majority of people in the world, they just want freedom. I feel like there's a large number of people out there who couldn't care less about money per se. They just want the ability to control their own time and to be able to afford what they want at that very same time. They don't want anything crazy, like live a lavish, fancy life. They just want the ability to be able to provide for their family, But yeah, I thought, I'll just mention that. That looks super cool though. But back to the video.
Since that video in 2019, I've been all over the western side of North America, exploring all these nooks and crannies, hidden gems, mountain summits, trying my best to show places that have never been seen before on YouTube, but also trying to give back to the community when I can. I found the most direct way I can do that is with trail maintenance. Every time I see a trail that's overgrown or covered with deadfall, I set out with my chainsaw. But I lived in that minivan for about 2.5 years. I started craving something with a little more space and off-road capability, so I upgraded to this 2016 Chevy Express. It's got the 6-liter V8 engine. It also has a Quigley 4x4 conversion with a 3-inch lift and a limited slip rear differential. All this with the short wheelbase, and it's amazingly capable. It does everything I could possibly want, and I think it's maybe one of the best platforms available for off-road van life available in North America.
Seven years living in the van. That's a long time, man. I guess you get used to it. Does it not get lonely? Does he have a wife, spouse, girlfriend?
Living in a van has not been without its challenges, though. I think it was about after 4 years that the excitement started to wear off and the sheer loneliness really started to grind at my health in a bad way. Just the amount of time that I was spending alone, secluded, way out in the middle of nowhere wasn't good for me anymore. And that's when Rocco came onto the scene. Her presence, her companionship has really made such a huge improvement. But I really tried to carefully make the decision whether or not to get a dog. I realized there'd be some compromises. Right now, I'd like to get more into technical climbing of mountains and also traveling more internationally, and she can't do either of those things, so she has to go to a sitter. But I'd much rather like try to design adventures and stuff that she can come along with. In terms of the future of this channel, it's always kind of felt like one day at a time. So long as people are still watching these videos and I still have enough income to keep rolling, then it's business as usual. I still love living in a van. I still love having one adventure after the other, so I plan to keep going the same as always. I'd really love to mix up the channel a little bit with a new rig, a new build of some kind. I've been searching high and low for the last year. I've looked at pickup trucks with camper shells, other vans, even a 4x4 motorhome, but nothing has really excited me enough to make a purchase as of yet. It's also kind of difficult for me to juggle around a second vehicle because I have nowhere to put it. I think if I did buy a second vehicle, I would strip out the interior of this thing, keep as many components as I could, and either try to sell it as like a 4x4 blank slate van life platform, or else hold on to it in storage somewhere and do a new build on the inside, because this really is a great van and it would be hard to let go of it. But yeah, once again, I can't thank you guys enough for watching these videos, and it always...
Okay, let's see the comment section. They grow up so fast. Thank you for the memories, Crockpot. One of the best channels in the interweb. Congrats on the 7 years. This is the first time landing on this channel, and it was a breath of fresh air, I do have to admit. Your videos are so therapeutic for all of us chained to a normal existence. Wow, what a word. Chained. I think that's the perfect word to use for this sentence, because sometimes it very much feels like that. Chained to a normal existence. Roko is such a great companion. As I said, first time, so I've never seen all these videos. Thank you for making the effort to bring us along. Sometimes I do have to admit, it tempts me, you know, should I do something similar? But I've always thought to myself, it will get lonely because I enjoy being around people. So, I don't know. Simon, the reason why people... okay. These are all positive comments, man. And it seems like from subscribers who've been watching them for a very long time as well. So, yeah, I can only say great and wonderful things. I see videos down here on the side mentioning some stuff. But yeah, look, let me know your thoughts. Would you do something like this in order to allow you to save a bit more finance-wise? Because that's what this channel is about. We work on our finances so that in the future we can live a more fulfilling life, comfortable life, where you don't feel chained, word of the day, chained to your current circumstances. So let me know where you are in your journey. Do you live like this? Do you not? Would you live like this? What's your finances looking like? Do you save? Do you not save? And please like the video whilst you're there to help out the YouTube video or the channel for the YouTube algorithm. God bless you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.